To protect and to serve has become one of the most recognizable phrases in law enforcement across the country. And throughout its over 50 years of use, it has come to embody the spirit, dedication, and professionalism of law enforcement officers. I'm Joni Sutter for Nutmeg TV. Joining me again today is Trooper First Class Kelly Grant to tell us about the recruitment process for the Connecticut State Police. Welcome back.
Thank you.
This is an exciting one for me because I always wondered, and maybe those at home always wondered, what's it like in the academy?
Yes.
So we're gonna get an inside look here. You are the Public Information Officer for the Connecticut State Police.
That's correct.
So for people who haven't seen previous shows, can you just give us a little synopsis of what the Public Information Officer does?
Sure. The Public Information Officer disseminates information to the public through social media, through our website, and through the television media and the news media.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we think of the Connecticut State Police, we see the hat and the uniform,
Yes.
and we do see the seriousness. We do
Yes.
see the serious face.
Yes.
And you know, it comes to embody, you know, enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally have a lot of respect for that, as well as the people in the state of Connecticut. Why the seriousness?
On a daily basis, we deal with a lot. Mm-hmm. And we do need to maintain a certain level of decorum, and being serious is that decorum. You know, you never want people thinking you're not taking them seriously when they're involved in a situation. To them, the situation may be tragic. So you want them to understand that we understand, and we do understand where they're coming from. We do understand, you know, you're in an accident, it's the first time you've been in an accident, you're panicked. We understand that. You know, how would you feel if it was your first time in an accident, you were panicked, you didn't know what to do, and you saw the trooper smiling and laughing and joking? You would say to yourself, you know, what's going on? Mm-hmm. So we do maintain a certain level of decorum, and that decorum is seriousness, because we do want people to understand that we truly are here for you, and we do understand that what you are going through may be new to you, scary to you, a first time for you, and we are here to help you.
And the other thing I would guess is that while you're there for that individual, your mind is also going in a million other
Yes.
places, because if
Yes.
you're at the accident, you're focused on them, but you're also looking around.
That's correct.
For what I don't even know, because I haven't been through
That's
your
correct.
process.
So one of the things that they say in the training academy is to keep your head on a swivel.
Okay.
No matter what situation you're at, your head is on a swivel. So we'll stick with the motor vehicle accident. You're at a motor vehicle accident. You have the cars in front of you that are crashed. Mm-hmm. You're sitting in your cruiser behind them. You're not focusing on your paperwork. You're doing your paperwork. You're looking at the cars ahead of you. You're looking at the people ahead of you. You're looking in your side view mirrors. You're looking in your rear view mirror. Is there any danger to you? Is there any danger to the cars that are stopped in front of you, to the people that are stopped in front of you? Is a car going to come down the shoulder and hit you? Is a car out of control and going to come over and hit the cars that are stopped on the side of the road? Are they going to hit the people? Is somebody walking out of the woods, out of nowhere? You know, we don't know what's going on in these towns around us necessarily at that moment. We're on the highway, we stop a car. If somebody comes running through the woods, did they just rob a bank? Were they just involved in a domestic? Are they running from somebody to safety to you? You know, we have had situations where troopers were doing other things, and it could have been just, you know, stopping to get a cup of coffee, where somebody has run up to them and said, you know, can you help me? So
Right.
yes, we pay attention to everything and everyone that is going on.
And with
that's
the
going on around
accident,
us.
you know, it may seem logical why the accident happened, but maybe there's drugs in the car. Maybe
Correct.
there's other reasons the accident happened
That's
that
correct.
you're not aware of yet.
That's correct.
Weapons in the vehicle,
Right.
anything
Right.
like that. So let's talk about the recruitment process for our half hour with you. What is the recruitment process and the selection process?
If you're going through it, it's long and it's torture.
How do you apply?
It seems like it takes forever to get through it, because you're just so excited. You want to become a trooper. You know, hurry up and get this process going. So now you apply online through the Department of Administrative Services website. You know, they have a link. They have information about it. So you apply online. From there, you're given a test date. You go and take a written test at a prescribed location. So it could be a prison. Using, you know, one of their training areas, and you take a written test. If you pass the written test, you are given the option of a few different dates for the physical agility. And you'll come to the training academy, usually the training academy in Meriden, and you will take the physical agility test. If you pass the agility, Then you move on to the next phase of the process, which would be the polygraph.
Okay, before we get to the polygraph, I'm back to the physical agility part.
Yes.
I had said to Trooper Grant, you know, I can't do a push-up because she was, let's preface this by saying that you are an instructor at the academy.
I was, yes.
You were
I
an
did.
instructor at the academy. You did some time
Yes.
there. And I said, well, what happens if you can't do a push-up? And you said to me, there is no
can do it,
choice.
right.
You have
You
to
can
do
do
the
a push-up.
push-up. And I said, I can't do a push-up. I've tried, and I cannot do a push-up. So what you would say is you wouldn't even get to that phase of
Correct.
the physical agility because you pretty much know by the time you are going to apply, you better be able to do certain things. What would those be?
Correct. When you apply, you know that there is a physical agility, and we have all the information right on our website. It tells you exactly, you know, what the steps are in the process, and then what you're going to need to do for the physical agility. So there is a sit and reach, where you sit and you reach to your toes, and they kind of check, I guess, you know, back flexibility. We carry a lot of equipment.
Yes.
We have to make sure that, you know, you're going to be able to carry that equipment and do the job. There's a sit-up station. You have to do a certain number of sit-ups in a minute. Push-ups, same thing, certain number of push-ups in a minute. There's a 300-meter run in a certain amount of time, a 1.5 mile run in a certain amount of time. And that depends on your sex and your age.
Okay, are there any limitations? Are there age requirements? Are there any, you know, during the selection process we say, okay, you have to be this age to this age, or?
Correct. No, we do not have an age cap.
Okay.
My class, I did have a 62-year-old male in the class. Other classes most recently have had, I think probably the top age would have been 48. Mm-hmm. So no, there is no age. Minimum 21. You have to be 21 years old, at least 21 years old, to become a state trooper. But the other end, as long as you can do what's necessary.
Okay, so you fill out the application, you go and take the written test, you pass that, you go to the physical agility.
Yes.
Now, how many people are with you, typically? 50?
It's usually an all-day event, and they do it at, you know, whatever, every couple hours, a new group will come in. So it's probably about 50 people per group.
And in the springtime? Is it typically in the spring?
It's typically in the springtime, but it could be any time they offer the test. But
Okay.
typically, yes, typically spring, beginning of summer.
Okay, and then you pass the agility.
You pass the agility, you're given a date and time for the polygraph. You take the polygraph. From there, they start your background investigation, and that's delving into everything. So they go back to, you know, as a small child, did you ever steal anything? And, you know, most young kids maybe have, you know, taken that pack of gum or whatever. That's not something that's going to throw you out of the state police process. You know, they look at your high school life. What'd you do during high school? College, what'd you do during college or military? They check with all of your past employers. And they'll start from, you know, when you started working. So if you started working at 16, they'll go back to that employer. And, you know, do you remember this person? What kind of employee were they? Neighbors. They speak to your neighbors. Are you a good neighbor? Are you a loud neighbor? Do you throw wild parties? We want to know everything. We want to know everything. And then, of course, family members.
They interview family members
Yes.
as well.
Yes, because not only to find out, you know, what type of person you are, but they want to make sure that you have the support of your family. This is, becoming a Connecticut State Trooper is a lifestyle. It's not just a career.
Tell
it's
us
a
about
lifestyle.
that a little bit.
You take your car home, so it's constantly with you. It's not like you go to work and then you come home. When you leave for work, you're gone for your shift, 8 hours, and then you come home with everything you left for work with. You know, you bring that car home, that car sitting in your driveway, sitting in your garage, you're always on call. You're always on call. If your car is in your driveway, everybody knows who you are, and they're gonna come to you if there is an issue. I've been woken up, it's only happened once so far, at 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody banging on my door. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And there's a police officer who lives up the street from me, and they were banging on his door also. We came outside, and some sort of, I don't even know, I guess it was some sort of fight. We're not even 100% sure still what happened. Some sort of fight. A girl was sitting smack dab in the middle of the road. So
You're
always
there.
on call.
You're like, you know, public presence all the time,
Yes.
even at home.
Yes.
Okay, so you talk to the family and say, okay, this person, you know, husband, wife is going in, son, daughter.
Right. Right, yeah, any family member,
and,
yes.
and how, you know, so they can give you a good
Yes.
gauge.
Yeah,
Okay.
you find out, so, you know, you could tell when you're talking to somebody if they're supporting this or not. And it, like I said, it's very important that you have family support when you leave to go to the academy, because you are there Monday through Friday, 6 months. And you come home on the weekends and you're exhausted. You know, your spouse may plan a million things for you on the weekend, and you're like, I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. I have some studying to do. I have to do my laundry, get my uniform set. I need to pack my stuff. And, you know, Saturday and Sunday goes by fast when you have a lot of stuff to do.
Plus recovery time.
Recovery time.
Because this isn't, you know, a walk in the park.
No.
So once you've gotten through the interview, the polygraph.
Polygraph.
And are polygraphs really something that can be counted on? You know, you hear all the time on television, oh, they took a polygraph test and you know, what is the reliability of the polygraph?
It depends on, the reliability of the polygraph itself. We find it very reliable.
You do?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you've completed that process. Is there any psychological evaluation?
We do have a psychological evaluation, and we have a medical. So at the medical, again, excuse me, I find this part very interesting. The medical is where you have to, you know, get your eyes checked, your ears checked, your blood pressure checked. You know, a podiatrist looks at your feet. And believe it or not, they do all of that stuff at the training academy. They bring doctors in, all the doctors from a head to toe physical, the doctors are there, and they examine every single recruit. And usually it's about 100, usually a little over 100, because we try to do classes of 100. So it's a little over 100, and they examine every single recruit to make sure that they are physically fit and will be able to handle not only the academy, but be able to handle being a state trooper. So it's amazing.
So it's life-changing.
It's extremely life-changing, yes. It was an eye-opening experience for me. I was a police officer in Naugatuck before I became a state trooper. And the reason I left Naugatuck was that I wanted to become a major crime detective. And there was only one way to become a major crime detective, and that was become a state trooper first. So, about the academy, I've already done the academy. I've already been a police officer for 5 years. I don't know if I want to do this again. So you definitely have to be in the right place mentally, because it's a lot. It's mental stress also. It's not just physical stress of the academy, of the physical aspect of it, but it is mental.
So let's talk about that. The Naugatuck, when you were in Naugatuck, if you're a regular town or city police officer, is it a different academy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so did you think, well, this is probably going to be a piece of cake?
I
'Cause
did.
I did it.
Right.
You know, I did it, and
Right.
I went through it. Plus, I'm a police officer, so I've
Right.
already seen a lot,
Right.
dealt with a lot.
So I thought that exactly what you're saying. I've already done this. It's not going to be that bad. And I found out very, very, very quickly it was completely different.
So when you get there, and I've seen some video, there are some video on YouTube that were very nicely done that gives you a flavor of what the academy's like. I
Right.
think military style.
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we are a paramilitary organization. We like good order. We like decorum. You need to follow rules. You need to listen to instructions that are being given to you, because it's what keeps people safe. Not only us, but the general public. You know, you're at a major situation. If a sergeant is telling you to do something, you need to do it, because it's for your safety and the safety of the person that you're helping. So yes, there's a lot of paramilitary type training that we have. We do a lot of drill and ceremony, so you see us marching. We do like to march. We do like to do drill and ceremony. It's part of who we are. It's part of our training. You know, we did it all throughout the academy, and it does set us aside.
What does a regular day look like at the academy?
Busy.
6 months is a long time.
Yes, 6 months is a long time. It starts, you know, you're up probably by, I think you're up by 6 in the morning. Maybe, could be 5:30 in the morning, but you're up early. I don't think the time really makes that much of a difference when you're going to bed late after you worked very hard all day long. You're exhausted. You get into bed, you close your eyes, and the next thing you know, it's morning again. Reveille is playing. It's time to get up. So you do start your day very early. You go through classes. You have classes. You have inspection. You have to make sure that your academy uniform is worn just right. If you're not going to wear your academy uniform right, you're probably not going to wear your state police uniform right, and that's unacceptable. You know, we take a lot of pride in our uniforms. We take a lot of pride in our hats. So we make sure that uniforms are squared away. That's the first thing. You know, first thing in the morning, they get up, they get changed, and we inspect their uniform. Classwork all day long. Physical training, which could be extremely exhausting. Physical training, it could be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And then after that, you could end up doing something like defensive tactics. So it's more physical,
Right.
more physical activity. You're learning how to handcuff, and that can take a lot out of you too. So they're very long, tiring days.
So you're already feeling vulnerable physically because
Yes.
you're tired. Your muscles
Right.
are tired. You're beat. You know, mentally you could be exhausted because you're pushing yourself in
Right.
areas. You're missing your family. You may be
Right.
thinking, what the heck did I do? You know, is this? You know, so you've got those. You know, the negativity getting in there too, saying,
Oh,
okay,
right. Oh, yes.
you know, that you have to fight that,
Right.
and then you're having to perform. And are there, you know, is it like the military where they're yelling at you?
We do
instructors?
have definitely, you know, some people call it yelling, some people call it, you know, a raised voice, escalated voice. But yes, that does happen, and that teaches you that it's no big deal. If you're being yelled at or somebody's raising their voice at you in the academy
what's the reason?
for 6 months, when you're out on the road, you're out on patrol, you stop a car, or you go to an accident, or you go to a fight, and now somebody starts yelling at you, it's no big deal. You've been yelled at before. It's not something for you to get upset about. You've been yelled at. It's something you can deal with, and you just do what you need to do.
So it tempers the you know, the spirit, so to say, you know,
Yes.
because over and over and over again, you're getting so used to that. So when you see that out in the field,
Right, you understand that, you know, it's inevitable. Somebody is going to yell at you. You stop a car, they're going to yell at you. I mean, who wants to get a ticket? So yes, you know, you may get yelled at by somebody on the side of the road. You may get yelled at, you go to a domestic violence situation.
Right.
And you may get yelled at by somebody at the domestic. And again, you know, they're yelling at you. It's no big deal. It's part of your job. It's no big deal.
what did you do when you were at the academy as a trainer?
As a trainer, so as an instructor, I did a variety of things. You know, one of them was I did inspect uniforms. I did teach public speaking. I did teach. I taught penal codes, or our state statutes, and through the training, we go through the training with the recruits. We show them that you're doing it, but we can do it too.
Even tase?
Even tase, yes.
So you had to be tased.
I was tased. And again, it's to show the recruits that we're not making you do something that we wouldn't do or haven't done. You know, we'll do it also. And the reason they get tased is to show them that once you're tased, you can still continue to be a state trooper. You're not incapacitated.
You're not.
You can continue on with your job, because it could happen.
Sure.
It could happen where, you know, whether you're, you know, somebody has been tased and they're down on the ground, and now you're going to handcuff them, and accidentally, you know, maybe they're getting combative, and the trooper needs to tase them again, and you may get some of that. But it shows you that, okay, yeah, it's a jolt, but you can still be a state trooper. It doesn't make you stop.
And I didn't realize the prongs stay
Yes,
in
there are prongs,
the skin.
and that's what attaches. Preferably, you know, it's going to depend on what is being worn. So it's either going to stick in the clothing, or yes, it is going to stick to your skin.
So you're there with the recruits. You're there saying, you know, we've done it. We've been there. We're
We'll
not
do it
just
with ya.
we're just not shouting it out and you know,
Right.
providing the authoritarian.
Right. We're not just saying it.
Right.
We're doing it. Same thing with their physical training. We do the sit-ups and the push-ups during, we call it PT. We do it with them. We run with them. Yes, absolutely.
So 3 months in, what are some of those changes that you start to see with these recruits?
You see them starting to take a lot of pride in who they are, how they look. I remember a day where, you know, I'd stand there and inspect their uniform, and there was a point where they would walk down a hall, and then they would have to make a turn, and they would make that turn as fast as they could so that they wouldn't have to stand in front of me to find something on their uniform. Is your belt okay? You know, and it's not every single one. You know, some of them have issues. Maybe they got a little piece of lint on them or something like that. You know, they brushed up against something. But I remember the day when they were coming towards me, and that first one had to stop in front of me, and he stopped with his chest out, and he was like, "Go ahead, look at my uniform." So you can see when they make that change and they finally realize this is why we want our uniforms to look like this. This is why we do this. This is why we do that. You see that change. You see that point.
And I would think too, by that time you would see more of a real pulse going on instead of all the fluff, and everybody putting on who they are, all the roles we have for ourselves, right? So we have all those roles, but those fade away pretty quick, I would think. And you get down to the real deal. And I would think some really important bonds would be developed during that time.
Definitely.
And all those roles kind of go by the wayside because that's all they really are.
Right. And you can see, in the beginning, you see, this one with this personality, maybe this personality is outgoing and this personality is a little more quiet. But then you'll see that they actually bond. They come together, they help each other. So it's very interesting. It's definitely very interesting.
Well, we had the opportunity to air the graduation ceremony, the most recent one, which was beautiful. It's also on the website, and I'm sure on yours. And it's a very emotional ceremony.
Yes, it really is.
I didn't realize so until I'd watched it. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, watch it. It's online. You can find it online on our website or go to the State Police website as well. But very proud. The families are proud.
Yes.
Because they know what you have gone through.
Right. You were gone for 6 months. You weren't there for your family for 6 months. You missed a lot of things. These troopers with children, they missed everything that was going on during the week with them.
And they're coming back different.
They come back different. Yes.
What you left as and what you're coming back as.
It definitely changes. You're a definitely different person.
You're a different person. All enhancements, but you're a different person. So once you go through that process, are you automatically a state police officer?
No, not automatically.
Okay.
We have so many.
Are there people who don't make
candidates,
it through
yes.
that?
I mean, we have so many people take the test. We could have, let's just say, we have 5,000 people take the test. We're not hiring 5,000.
Okay.
Yes, and some of those get knocked out because they don't pass the test, and then they don't pass the agility, and then there could be issues with the polygraph. There could be issues with their background investigation. There could be issues with their medical. So there are different points along the way that they are removed from the process.
How about the academy?
We do lose people in the academy.
You do?
Yes, we do. And anything from, this isn't what I signed up for, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, I don't like it, to academically they couldn't meet the challenge, or the agility. Yeah, physically they couldn't meet it. So they have to be removed. And a lot of them, we tell them, just apply again. Now if they started at the academy, now you know. Now you know what you need to do. Now you need to get yourself more physically fit, or you need to be able to focus more on studying. So get that together.
And do they come back if they're really serious about doing it?
Yes, some do. Yeah. Some do come back. Some do come back.
So here you are 18 years later.
I know, really. I don't know how that happened.
18 years later, and now the face that we see for the Connecticut State Police, which is an enormous responsibility that you have. And you do, if you were sitting next to her, you would know, if you're not getting it across the camera, just how warm and wonderful you are.
I appreciate that.
Yet there's all that other under the hat too. But you're the face for the state police, which is great. And I'm sure you would encourage anyone who has a drive or passion or really a calling, I would think,
for
absolutely. This, to follow the process, go to the website and get more information about what goes into it. So 18 years, you glad you did it?
Oh yeah, I absolutely am glad I did it. Again, I came here for major crime, but my career just took a completely different turn, and I am grateful for it. I am thankful for it. I love what I do. So I don't know, who knows, maybe still one day major crime? I don't know, we'll see.
Who knows? But in the meantime, we're certainly grateful to have you as our representative for the Connecticut State Police. Thank you for being here today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And for all of us at Nutmeg TV, I'm Joni Sutter. Until next time.